First question.
Yeah.
Tell us about your first listing compared to the last listing you sold. What was the first listing you sold, Branden, and what was the last listing?
The first listing I sold, this was such a great, let's shut this door. The first listing I sold was an amazing real estate story. And I'm going to take it from the very beginning of my real estate story.
Okay, well, make it short because we've got like a million.
No, there's no short answer here today. How long do we have? 2 hours, 3 hours? Because I got nothing to do.
We've got 18 hours. 18 hours.
What?
First listing you sold compared to the last listing you sold. Take us on the journey.
Well, I'm going to take you real quick. I'm going to take you from the very beginning. So the real estate test was the first test I knew I failed and I actually passed. So it was like the real estate gods had been with me since day one. I had never, ever thought I failed a test and passed it my entire life. And this was the first test that I knew I failed and I passed. Okay?
Amazing.
First listing, I meet this guy at a restaurant, right?
Uh-huh.
I meet this guy at a restaurant just because the story is interesting. And this guy was like this young, cocky, commercial real estate guy that was on fire. And he was like, yeah, what you been up to? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I've been doing real estate. He's like, you're doing real estate? Baby, you can't talk, guys. He's like, you're doing real estate? I'm like, yeah, this was the first 5 months of me, 6 months of me doing real estate.
And you haven't sold anything at this point?
I haven't sold one thing. And I was like this guy that was just eager, trying to go out there and get anything I can possible. And this guy was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm looking at properties. He's like, you do real estate? I'm like, yeah. And before this, you know, I was an actor. I was basically a high-paid extra. So anyways.
And you were a big actor. You always.
I wasn't. I always played like the friend in a few movies. And I made a living at it for like 7 years. And I never wanted to be an actor. I was going to fashion school, and I ended up doing it because I thought it was quick, fast money, and I needed a job. And I wanted some more money than I was making at the time, so it worked out for a little while. But anyways, I meet the guy, and the guy was like, oh, I'm looking at this house. And I go, what house? And he said, oh, on Coldwater Canyon. I said, oh, the house for $1.5 million, the Jack and Jill. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I know everything. This is what I do, real estate, because I went out and learned the whole entire market. He was like, I go, I know a better house than that. So I take him to a better house than that. He's like, you're right. He's like, you know what? I think you're a good salesman. And he goes, I'm about to sign a listing with somebody else. Rainey, you can't do this. You can't do this in the background, please.
Rainey.
Sorry. So I go, I need some peace, please.
You got a house full of kids. You got your wife.
Anyways, I'm trying to, let me turn this way. Please. Just move to the side. What are you doing? Just give me some space for 10 minutes, please. Yeah. Sorry. Concentrate when 10 things are going. Anyways, to make a long story longer, the guy's like, I'm about to sign with another listing who was a big lister at the time. He said, come to my house. I list his property. He signs the papers with me. He's like, hurry up and sign before I change my mind. He signs the papers with me. So I go and I do the open house. The house was on the market for 6 months before at the same price, and it didn't sell in the hottest market of like '05 at the time, when everything was selling in multiple offers, and it was a $1.3 million house. Anyways, I'm cleaning up trash cans. This guy was a bachelor. He had underwear on the floor. I'm making his bed. I'm doing everything. And I'm washing the walls. There was handprints on the walls. And it was like this cute Laurel Canyon house, but it looked like a bachelor had never cleaned up. So I'm cleaning during the broker's open. And this woman comes in, and I'm like, can I help you out? She's like, I'm meeting my broker here. I said, if you have any questions, let me help you out. I take her around a little, show her around. All of a sudden, at the end of the open house, I get a phone call from the broker. Hey, how you doing? Remember me? I met you there today with my client. Well, we're writing a full price offer. My client just lost out on a house, and we want it. So wow. Full price, accept our offer. We'll have a deal done. I was like, is this a joke? Am I being punked? And that was the start of my real estate career. And call it luck, call it at the right place at the right time. But I had 30 seconds to grab that guy's attention when I told him real estate. And I was able to take him from the house that he was going to write an offer on to a better house than that, then get his listing, and then sell the house and get him to do something else. Well, and that was the point. That was a pivotal point in my career. It was like, whoa, I could actually do this. And it was because I knew the market. In the first 6 months of me going out, I went out and learned everything. And I saw every house. I knew the square footage, the lot size, the bedrooms, the floor plan, what style of house. And I knew the general area that he was looking in. And I knew there was a better house that was about to come on the market. And because of me knowing and able to put the dots together, and I just, sometimes for me, like I see agents like, let me get your email, I'll email you. It's like, no. When you have the time, you have a minute to engage somebody. Exactly. And that was, you know, was my learning how to engage people very fast. And who knows what other realtor he was working with, who he went and saw it. And I didn't ask who it was, but I just said, I know that house, and I did have a better house to show him. And so that was kind of the start of my real estate career. And that story sticks with me. So my first sale was such a big victory that it will never leave my head. And anytime I get down, anytime that I lose confidence, I go back to that first story in my head. And that was kind of, and now, did I know the paperwork? Did I know the deal points? Did I know about mortgages? No, I was learning all along the way. I was a complete rookie. But you know what? I tried my best and I learned everything.
So when you're down, because a lot of agents out there are down right now, when you're down, you remember that first sale and how it spoke to you, and it was like, this is your path and you're going to be okay. That's great advice. You're like the Tony Robbins of real estate. I'm calling it right now. Next question. This is a hard one. Describe your sales strategy in one word. One word, Branden. One word. I know my answer.
Like a tiger.
That's 3 words.
Tiger.
Tiger? Okay. You're a tiger.
Tiger King.
Rainey, I thought you were a panther. Rainey bought you that Cartier panther.
Well, I love tigers, and if you see my house, I have Hugh Hefner's bronze tiger that I bought in an auction that's at the front of my house that was in his backyard. I'm the year of the tiger. So that's why I always love tigers. But tigers to me are very patient, and they creep, and they know their prey, and they hunt, and they're low. And then all of a sudden at the right time, boom, they attack. And that's what you have to be. You have to be patient, but when the time is to close, it's all timing. You got to close.
I love that.
And if you miss your prey, then you lost them.
Perfect.
But it's about being patient, sizing it up, and assessing the situation.
Okay, next question. Rainey is famous for, you guys are famous for saying suit up and show up. What does that mean?
It means when you don't feel good. It means when you don't want to, when you're feeling emotional, when you're feeling sad, when you're beaten up, when you're happy, when everything's going your way, when you just closed a big deal and you say, I should be on a vacation. No, you show up back at work. You know, our team always says, like, you just closed a huge deal and you guys aren't even celebrating. And it's like, yeah, good team. Let's keep going. And that's what I find is that a lot of people will do a couple big deals or a deal or two and then take off and go, oh, I can relax now. Well, I've always had it in me where it was like I wanted to be the best. I wanted a house in Malibu. I wanted to build my own house. I wanted to develop, put my money back into real estate.
Yes.
So to me, it's like keep going, keep pushing forward, and keep pushing yourself towards greatness. And one of those days you could retire on your island with the surfboard and the golf clubs and in your golden years, you know, with your spouse, and kick your feet up and have that, you know, that drink with the little, you know, whatever it is in it, pineapple. And but until then, for me, it's like, let's go big.
I've known you. I worked for you. I've been your publicist for almost 2 years. You've taken one vacation that entire time, holidays included. One vacation, and it was after you did a double deal. And I think had been planned for 5 years. I was surprised you even went.
Well, that's kind of true. I usually take like 2-day vacations, like a 3-day, 2 to 3 days. I go on like a ski trip or a surf trip. I love snowboarding. I love surfing. And so I'll do like little trips here and there, like a Friday till then I get back like Monday morning.
I love that. Okay, next question.
But on all of my vacations, I'm always working. I always have my phone. So I love a beautiful scenery wherever I am, but I love to be grinding out deals.
Does Rainey ever say to you, like, can we just have a day off? Or are you guys both fed so much by it? Like, don't you ever just want to take a day?
You know, I think with both of our energies and kind of the way that we formed our team, we've always we're kind of bred for that. I mean, once in a while, we'll be like, okay, enough. Put your phone down. That's enough. So, yeah, there's a few minutes of the day where we do that.
Okay, next question. Best closing advice. We want your best. I've got someone. They're about ready to close. How do I bring them in for the kill, that tiger? How do I pounce?
So, not having to, you know, throw your money away to a landlord and put it in a piggy bank. So there's so many amazing things to residential real estate and all real estate.
Yeah.
It's a tangible asset. Unlike the stock market where you just look at numbers going up and down.
It's totally true. And I think after this, we'll see so many people will be balls to the walls crazy because so many people will be taking their money out of the stock market and wanting to put it in real estate. So many people will want to move. We talked to Rainey about that yesterday, how people are thinking right now, God, this house is small. I should call Williams & Williams and buy a bigger one. All right. This one, remember, you can always pass on a question. You can plead the fifth.
Okay.
Have you ever had sex in a listing?
Yes, I have. And
there
then, no, I can't say that. No, I have not. Okay. My wife's my partner. Okay. We had a lot of real estate history, a lot of real estate passion, a lot of real estate tension, a lot of energy, and we've been in a lot of places. But I think it's illegal at the Department of Real Estate, so I'm going to say no for now, but wink, okay?
Got it. Most difficult house you've ever sold?
There's been so many of them.
The hardest one to move, or which just shows your tenacity.
Oh, man. Well, 924 Bel Air Road was an amazing fight. That was a 3-year process.
That was a process.
It was the biggest listing ever in history, $250 million. I didn't price it. We were supposed to price it a little bit lower than that. But, you know, I'm on the developer's journey. It's not my money. I'm here to serve the client, the developer. And you know what? To his defense, we could have got lucky and got the guy that just sold his company for $10 billion and said, fuck it, I want to be the guy that pays $250 million for a house. So, you know, you got to go on the journey. We also had another really big offer that he didn't take, but it's the journey. And you know what? You learn so much from the journey. I learned so much from that listing. And there was days where I was like, it's never going to sell. But, you know, I have that in me. It's like you put that much time, you put that much energy in it, and it's that much of a fight. And, you know, I've had $1 million, $2 million listings. I just don't want to talk about the big stuff. I've had condos,
right,
that have taken a year. But you put so much time and energy and money into it that you're like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to feel like the biggest loser if I give this listing up or if I get fired and the next guy sells it. I can't live with myself. It drives me crazy.
You guys do that. You will hold on to a listing. I was just saying this yesterday to someone. I was like, Williams & Williams will never let go of a listing.
Well, that's the tiger blood. That's the tiger claw.
But you also know that it will always sell in LA. So you know that if it goes to another agent, they'll drop the price and then it'll sell and it'll drive you crazy. We have people on, just for the record, people are saying hi from India, from Italy, from the
What's up, India? What's up, Italy?
From Brazil, from Hungary.
Brazil in the house, Brazil.
They're all over and they want to say hi to you, so I want to make sure.
Thank you guys for coming on. Truly appreciate it. We love you around the world. One love. We're going to beat this. We're going to get through this. We're going to have a healthy economy, and we're all going to live together in peace and harmony. That's my dream.
I think it'll bring people together. Next question. Do you believe the saying that the first offer is always your best offer?
You know, I've had that not be true, but I think it's a very, very good saying, and I live a lot of my career by that, because time gets stuff to get stale. It takes away the oxygen, the excitement, and I think if you could strike like a tiger, like if there's a tiger over there waiting you out for 4 months, like who knows what's going to happen? Mm-hmm. Yeah, get it done. If you could, that first person serious, and you know, in real estate for me, it's like I think the reason we've been successful is because I always say pick the right horse, choose the right client who you can tell loves the property and that you know is going to be able to get it done. Because, you know, with interest rates so low, you might have multiple offers. And yeah, the highest offer might not always be the best offer or the guy that's going to close it. So you got to be smart. You got to use your intuition. And that's really what I think Rainey and myself have going for us, is we're all about instinct. We're all about like heart and soul. And doing the right thing for the deal and not putting ourselves first and putting our clients first and doing the right thing, and the right things will happen. And that's truly why I believe we've closed so much real estate.
We've got people saying hi from Indonesia and then all the way from
Santa Monica. Indonesia. I go surfing there. I love it.
And then also Santa Monica. Hey, Santa Monica.
I love Santa Monica. Rip City.
What I even think that saying is true when you get a listing that's been stale, which you guys never take stale listings, but if you do take a listing on,
we take stale listings all the time. We take it. I mean, if we think we can sell it and it's been on with somebody else, I mean, yeah.
But even when you relist a property, that first offer is usually your best offer that you're going to get.
I think, you know, a lot of the times it's true. It's not true every time, but a lot of cases it's true.
This next question's coming from LA. How do you stay so sexy?
How do I stay so sexy? Well,
this is not my question, by the way.
How do you stay so sexy? Well, I try to take very good care of myself. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I'm very active. I'm all about energy. I believe in energy, so I like to keep my energy up at all times. Not all the time. Once in a while, I have to settle down. But yesterday, I went hiking. I went up to Mount Baldy and I went hiking, snowboarding. Yeah. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of work and I'm going to do a little bit of mountain biking because I have this extra time. But the key is to have a sexy wife. And when you have a sexy wife, she ups your game to make you sexy. So I can't ever look bad for her, because if I lose her interest, like another tiger, a lion will come along and grab her. So I got to always be on the defensive.
I know this is super hard for you to do, but when you move, it's hard for Instagram. So if you can, stay in one spot.
Okay.
Um, and someone's asking, Branden, we took our real estate classes together with that guy. How do you get your high-end listings?
Say this again. They took
Michelle's Farino is saying, Branden, we took our real estate classes together with that guy. How do you get your high-end listings?
What's his name?
What's his name?
No, oh God, it's driving me crazy. I love that guy.
Is he the guy who teaches the crash course? Like,
yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah,
He's
I took his course too. He's like
he talks
Filipino
like he talks like Bueller. Ferris Bueller. You know, like in the Ferris Bueller movie. This guy's a complete character. But how do I get my high-end listings? Well, I got my high-end listings from doing a lot of small listings and gradually working myself from the bottom to the top and understanding every aspect. And you know what? I still do small deals all the time. I love small deals. I like to work with good people and do great things. I don't care. There's no small parts in Hollywood. So, you know, if you're going to show up, go all out and don't say, oh, this is $1 million listing. This is beneath me. You know what? $1 million is a lot of money. That's a $20,000, $30,000 commission, and $5,000 is a lot of money to me. So, you know, I take it to heart, and we never try to get humility is key, and getting bigger than you think you should be, and you only deal with big listings. Like, okay, great, have fun. I'm going to take the 1, the 2. I was out a few months ago showing $700,000 condos to a friend who I really like. I'm here to help people, and that's what I do.
We have people saying hello to you from London now.
What's up, London?
Next question is vertical living. Is it a fad or is it the future for Los Angeles?
I don't think it's the future for Los Angeles because there's so much space, and that's what we're so lucky about in Los Angeles. And I've done both. I've lived in an apartment my entire life until I finally was able to get a home 10 years ago. And I'll tell you this, man, don't get me wrong, I love a great condo building. I've had great memories in condos and apartments, some of my fondest memories, but living in my own home, my own space, and not sharing walls. I used to live next to a guy. We used to share a wall. He used to snore so loud at night. I couldn't, and I have a hard time going to sleep. This guy I would hear him snore the entire night.
I love that. We've had this question a few times. Are you guys taking new agents at Williams & Williams? I think a lot of agents look at your brand and they want to be a part of it, but you like to keep your team small. Are you taking new agents?
Well, you know, it's a case-by-case thing. And at Hilton and Highland, we don't have that much office space. We don't have, you know, we're still under the brokerage of Hilton and Highland. So it's been harder for us to really do it. But I mean, listen, if we see somebody that we like their energy, we vibe with, we think could make a good fit, we're always open. We never cut off. So, but it's just harder because we're still at Hilton Highland. We have, I think, 7 to 10 people on our team. So we're already like crammed in. I don't even sit in my office. I got like 3 of my employees sitting in my desk chair and I'm sitting on the other side of it. And I'm like, what's wrong here? But it is what it is.
Best mentor you ever had? Someone who pulled you up in this world.
Well, I've had so many good mentors, and I'm not going to say just one, but I had an amazing mentor, method acting. It was my acting class. His name was Tony Greco, and he's out of New York. He was one of 15 people taught by Lee Strasberg, and he taught me method acting. And now,
Wow.
I'm not saying I'm a great actor, because I'm not, but the responsibilities and the given of method acting, and really it's about doing your homework, and it's about preparation and determination, then equals life, reality, luck, whatever you want to call it. So what it really taught me is if you're going to do a play, let's say by Tennessee Williams, you better know everything about that playwright. You better know everything about all the characters and why he wrote your character in there and what time of year it is. Is it hot outside? Because if it's summertime in the South, that's a way different energy than wintertime on Broadway in New York City. So you got to think about all elements. Is it Christmas time? How do people feel during Christmas time? Are they happy about Christmas? I love Christmas time. Christmas time.
Christmas.
Or does Christmas time make you sad? So there's so many different responsibilities to pepper yourself. Like today I was watching on Philip Seymour Hoffman, who actually studied with my acting coach.
Yeah.
And my acting coach was one of the greatest people, but he was also the biggest. Fuck, if you're going to do it fucking right. If we're going to show up, go all the way. Like,
suit up and show up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I needed in my life. And I studied with him for 5 years. And when I quit acting, I took all of those, and it's being an investigator. It's asking yourself, what's the relationship between me and this property? What people all the time say, I'm looking for a modern home. And I look at them and I go, wait, you got 3 kids, you want a modern home? I have the best traditional for you. Come follow me. And they're like, no, we do not want it. And I show this, I go, here's why this makes sense.
Right.
Not only this, traditionals never go out of style.
Right.
It's a beautiful home. It's a traditional means it's an open floor plan, because the modern with the big view for the family with the big yard doesn't exist. And if it does, get ready to spend $50 million and you got a $10 million budget. So you got to put the pieces of the puzzle together and lay it out and explain it to people. And that's what a great agent does. They can explain all the different scenarios so you can implement in their head, and they go, oh, wow. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Okay. So you could cut out 6 months of your time, a year of your time, because guess what? In that year, their cousin gets their real estate license. Their mom just reissues their real estate license. Oh, thank you for all your help. You've been amazing. Thank you for educating me, but my mom just got her real estate license, and she's going to give me half of my commission back. All the time.
How do you deal with, like, I think a lot of agents out there have been so close to a deal and then it falls through. How do you deal, maybe defeat's the wrong word. How do you deal when things don't go your way? Like, what do you do with that loss where you're like, fuck, I spent a year on this.
Well,
I spent all that money. I spent all that time.
Oh, man, you don't even know. We were just talking about it this morning. One of our clients, who I've spent $1.3 million and haven't made $1 back.
Insane.
But you got to take it on the chin. You got to take it like a man and a woman. You got to, listen, it's like relationships you've been in. Past relationship, that was the worst relationship of all time. Well, if you're smart, you made it a lesson, you learn from it, and you learn, like, I'm not going to put myself back there again. And then you find your dream woman, like I found. And I'm not saying my past relationship was bad. I'm not trying to talk bad, but everything in life is a lesson. And if you look at it as a lesson and going, you know what? The best saying I've ever was saying, Viv, you can't do that. Please don't run back and forth. Come on, get in your room. Sorry. I can't have too many things going on. I gotta concentrate and people are running by me. Anyways, the best, what?
What's happening in there?
The kids. Anyways,
it's okay. It's okay.
My wife's shaking her head at me going, get in your room. But the best thing, no, I'm going to tell you the best saying. And I live my life by this saying. I live my life by a lot of sayings, okay? And the best saying is I was studying with this guru, Sikh guy, right? And I was in and he always, and this guy's amazing. His name's Guru Singh, another mentor of mine.
Okay.
And I looked up at his wall and he has the 2 swords, and that's for the Sikh religion. And it's the 2 swords. I go, why the swords? He goes, you want to know why the swords? He goes, you know why we practice yoga, why we eat healthy, why we wake up at 4:30 and do, what is it? It's a meditation and prayer at 4:30. He goes, you know why we do that? He goes, so we could stay flexible, so that when problems arise, we could just move around it. It's all good. He goes, but you see the swords? The swords are when you become a master. Then you don't have to do anything, and you could slice right through the bullshit. It just comes around you, and it slices right like that. He goes, that's when you become a master. So you know what? Every day in life, you are going to have your challenges. Every day in life, I'm going to have to make phone calls to my clients and say, yeah, they're not buying it. They think it's overpriced. Yeah, it's a bedroom too short. And I have to make a lot of phone calls that I don't want to make. And they go, but Branden, you're supposedly the best. That's why I hired you. You're supposed to get anything sold. So I go, hey guys, I'm a conduit to making this happen. I've made a lot of miracles. I've pulled a lot of rabbits up my hat, but we also have to live in reality. And we also have to figure out where we're at right now. And there's a lot of times when I'm not the miracle worker. I'm not the closer. You know what I'm saying? I'm the punching bag. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy that's like, another day of this, another showing. Rainey and I did a development. Our first big development was in 2007 up Viewmont, up Sunset Plaza, and there were 6 homes. And our buddy did these homes. We literally showed every single one of these homes between 200 and 400 times. I will never drive up Sunset Plaza again. I will never, and we made a vow. We said, after this development, we will never go on Viewmont Drive again. And guess what? We made that call. People call us and go, we got a property for you on Viewmont. We're like, no way. Hang up the phone.
So there are properties that you won't take if the address is Viewmont. You won't touch it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Don't call them. Okay.
And still to this day, they still can't get the prices that we sold for them in 2007.
And this is just my question. Do you think that you are more successful because you're sober? Because I have to say, you guys have inspired me to stop drinking. I still smoke, a little bit of pot here and there.
Don't smoke the weed.
Stop.
It's not the same weed Bob Marley was smoking. He was smoking Sensimilia. It was brown, natural weed from the islands. The weed now is like the Kush. It's Yoda brains. This stuff will melt your brains.
Okay. Well, it kind of does melt your brain. But do you think, I want to be, and I think a lot of people out there see you and that you guys are so successful. You're developing, you're designing. Is it because is some of your success due to your sobriety?
I would say all of my success is due to my sobriety.
Well, fuck it then.
What? I would say listen, I've taken a lot of heartache along the years and I learned a lot. But I got sober at 30 years old. Believe it or not, I'm 45 years old now. I'm old enough to be your father, Alexander.
No, you're not. I'm 38.
Okay? What? I could be your father. Anyways.
You had me at 7.
I got sober at 30. And I had big jobs before. I got on a couple TV shows that were canceled, and I got fired from them from drinking and doing stupid shit. But for me, When I'm dead sober and I take all of that energy of getting beat up, having to show properties 350 times and going maybe 351's the time. And that's the energy that I use to propel me forward. And going back to method acting, Lee Strasberg said every task demands a certain amount of energy. So if you start looking at the energy of Christmas, if you start looking at the energy of Viewmont, if you start looking at the energy of your wife, your partner, your kids, real estate, people, clothing, everything's energy that you put in and out of your body. And you know what? I don't have time anymore to wake up kind of a little groggy. I don't have time to, smoke a bunch of cigarettes and weed and do a few lines of coke. It's just, it doesn't work in my life. And yeah, I think a lot of this from me being mentally, physically, not showing up the next day, talking to clients with vodka on my breath, like, hey guys, take my advice. And they're like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, for me it works, but I take things to the extreme. Some people, listen, it's your own gig, but I don't like to have a couple drinks. I like to have a lot of drinks. Not all the time, but when I do, so I've chosen to stake 100%. I don't do anything, not one drink, not one hit of weed, not one sleeping pill, or if I'm going to take a sleeping pill, it's going to be magnesium. Okay.
Do you ever use that when you go in for the kill to get a listing? Are you ever like, look, I'm sober. I will dedicate everything to this listing.
Well, I think people really know who we are now, and we've created our reputation and kind of what we do and who we are and what we're about. And, I'm about health and energy and love and like trying to win and doing the right thing. And I think that's the reason we are where we are today. I'm going to say that, and I try, and I'm respectful of everybody. Now, if you're a complete asshole to me, I could become a real big dick too, but I try never to go to those places, and I try not to. And I look back and I look back when I've done stuff and I'm like, you know what, that wasn't the best thing to do, and I'm ashamed of some of those things that I've done. But I was also taught in method acting, you fight fire with fire. You also, if energy's coming at you, you got to elevate to that energy.
Okay, next question. People are loving this, by the way, on the comments. I don't know if you can see the comments. I can. Some people studied with Anna Strasberg, LA interior decorators crying, laughing. What about when you list a property? Someone says, sometimes you title properties and sometimes you don't. When do you decide to give a property a name, and when do you decide to be like, no, that's too much? It doesn't.
I don't, sometimes properties speak to you and you got to go with it. Sometimes properties, and you got to go with it. And to me, everything is a case by case, So sometimes, I have to name them, but I also, Rainey and I started representing Jeremy Renner and Christopher Winters. I don't know if you guys know, Jeremy Renner was the big actor.
Yes.
Now is so big, he doesn't have to do specs anymore, but they would name properties, and I thought that was cool. So we kind of learned from them. Everything is learned. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just taking what I've learned along the way and then using it. Then people go, oh, Branden and Rainier is the ones that created it. But no, there's always the godfathers that helped us and molded us who we are today.
Well, you guys are the godfathers. We've almost been talking for an hour, if you can believe that.
No.
Yes, and
technical difficulty for 30 minutes.
Instagram will cut us off at an hour, so we're going to go for 5 more minutes. And this is so much fun, Branden. I seriously believe that you are the Tony Robbins of real estate.
You know what? I'm going to going to put it back to you. And you know what, Alexander? You're a warrior. And from, you know, listen, we wouldn't pay you the amount of money we would pay you if we didn't think, and listen, $20, $100 means a lot to us, okay? At the end of the day, money is money. It has a lot of value. And I think we pay you a nice amount of money. And maybe we don't pay you enough. Who knows? But you're definitely worth it. And I will tell you that. And to know that you're a hard worker like us. And you're always coming up with new ideas and trying to crack the code.
Oh,
You know what? And you've had a big career and a long life in this. And you know, it's like you surround yourself with people that share your same ideas and share the same consistency. Because if we heard from you once a month, we'd be like, why are we using Alexander? We don't need him. But we hear from you. It's crazy. We talk every day. And you're like constantly bringing new ideas. And that's what people want. It's communication. It's coming up with ideas, strategizing. And you know what? That's a testament to you. So, and like, listen, I would never do this today if it wasn't for you. So, but you know what? But I have to say yes. And, you know, that's what sobriety in life has taught me to do, is show up and say yes.
Yes. Well, you guys inspire me. That's why I like to work with you, is because you're idea people. Even when we didn't work together, I'd see the work you guys were doing. I'd be like, fuck, they are smart. Those kids are smart over there. They are always thinking of new ideas. You did movies, trailers before they were big. You did everything before it was big. So it's just fun to be a part of the team now. And
well, I'm going to say one other thing, and it's my favorite saying ever. And this is Stanislavski, the creator of method acting. And let's be honest, all the best actors came out of method acting.
And isn't real estate acting?
It is. No, everything in life is acting, because you know what? You have to show up and play the part, whether it's a waiter, whether it's a busboy, whether it's a banker, whether it's a nanny. You got to show up and play the part. And that's what people want. Like, oh my God, she's an amazing nanny. He's an amazing realtor. What a banker. You know, you got to play the part and show up. And if you're going to do it, and that's what it also taught me. I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to show up and be a realtor, I'm going to come up in a suit. I'm going to look good. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be Johnny on the fucking spot.
Exactly.
But, one more thing. So Stanislavski said, and this is one of my favorite sayings ever, in the creative state of being, there's no such thing as distractions, just the potential for inspiration, to inspire. And that's when I always think, how can we get this property exciting? What can we do to change it up? How can we change the energy around? How are we going to get this property sold? What can we do here?
But that also is such a good saying for now, for this moment, for this time. It's say it again, Branden, because like you can sit on your ass or you can be creative. You can react to this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, this is a lot of time right now to self-reflect and figure out inside of who you are and how you want to become a better person and how you want to live. And it's kind of like, this kind of reminds me of New Year's. Like New Year's Day is so quiet and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do for the new year?
Totally.
But I think this is a good time to reflect and really set your intentions on what you want to do after this, because guess what? One of these days they're going to say, quarantine's off, go back to work. And you got to be like, boom, Johnny on the spot, ready to go. A tiger, hunting, ready to freaking close.
And not just laying down over there waiting for the kill. And
not like a vulture. You need to be a tiger.
I am so inspired by you. Let's do one last question. I was going to ask you who your best gay friend is, but we all know the answer to that.
Well, are you kidding me? I would say myself. And then you. Listen.
Yourself?
Going back to being an actor.
You are a gay man a little bit. I've seen your closet.
Listen, I've always loved gay things and being, gay and emotional and loving and this. And listen, at the end of the day, I've never been with a man. I kissed a guy once during a truth or dare, and it scarred me for a long time. It scarred me for a long time. I still remember that this guy took it too far.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But guess what? As a realtor, I have to work with so many interior designers and gay guys, and I have to be at who they are and what they like in this. And listen, you got to be a chameleon. So you are my second best gay friend.
In fact, we're having one of your iconic gay designers that you develop with on next Wednesday. Tripenish is going to come on the show.
I love Trip.
I love Trip too. He's going to come on and talk
about show him
latest
pictures. One of my favorite properties Trip and I did together is 1130 Mater.
Writing it down.
It's an amazing property that we did together. And then SpiderMan, come here. SpiderMan, come here.
SpiderMan is there?
Hold on.
SpiderMan is at the house?
Yes. Show him.
Is he here to save us from COVID?
SpiderMan, give him a
Oh my
web.
God, there he is.
Give him a web.
SpiderMan.
Come here.
And that's a princess behind you. Hi, princess. Wow.
Anyway.
That's incredible.
Oh, and show them the pictures of Gilcrest. We also worked on that together as a team. And I mean, I thought those were two of the coolest properties. They're spectacular.
Last question from the audience, from Ben Bacall, as well as a bunch of myself and a bunch of other people. What the fuck happened to your arm?
Oh, I fell on a mountain bike.
Jesus. That is gnarly.
Battle scars.
Like get
a
some
little road rash.
Shouldn't that be like bandaged or like?
Nah, you gotta let it breathe. It heals faster.
Aquaphor or something. We're gonna send you some Aquaphor as a thank you for doing the show today.
Tell Ben I love him, man. Ben's a fighter. Ben's a true closer. Ben's always working on new ideas, new internet companies, and I'm happy to call him a friend. We butted heads. Ben and I used to hate each other. Now we finally, after like 7 years, we finally learned to love each other. But you know what? Ben has been one of those people in my life that's made me rise to the occasion and made me better. And you know, I have a couple other people out there that we haven't jived with, and I try to jive with everybody along the way. But you know, those are the people that you can't let them ruin you. You got to only make them better. And you know what I was taught? Whenever you have somebody that's against you, that's talking shit, guess how you get them back? You kill them with success.
Yes.
Get them back with success. Kill them with success. That's how you're going to get them back.
Yes. Make them read your name in the paper. That'll shut them up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alexander.
Thank you, Branden. You're the best guest. I could do this for hours. I'm going to say it one more time. You're my Tony Robbins of real estate. I love you so much. And we will post this on a YouTube channel. We'll post it everywhere, but in small clips. So if you guys didn't catch it, catch Branden again next week. Thank you, Branden. Anything else?
Worldwide people, I love you. Stay tuned in. Thank you so much.
Worldwide. Talk to you soon.
Take care.